So I haven't worked for a while and being unemployed is hard, but I've started exercising and that's kind of changed a lot. So if you're watching this and you've ever experienced unemployment, you probably know how hard it can be, how challenging it can feel at times. And this period of my life has been one of the hardest I've ever had. In terms of like emotions, I've felt very lost at times and stuck, stressed and anxious. It's had a big impact on my mental health, and I think a lot of the reason that is because of uncertainty. So there's a lot of financial uncertainty, and I'm thinking about maybe going in a slightly different direction in terms of my career. So there's a lot of questions that remain unanswered, and that's been very difficult. But one thing that I've tried to make an effort to kind of focus on during this period of time is exercise. I thought it might be useful for someone else out there who's in a similar situation to share some of the benefits I've found from exercising. So I've just made a list of some of these on my phone, so I'm going to just kind of go through them. So the first is a boosted mood. So like a lot of these everyone knows already, but like exercise helps with mood improvement. So I found like it's kind of impossible to feel down or deflated when I'm exercising, and that's because like you're moving. When you have a better mood, you're probably going to be like a better candidate for a job, or you're going to perform better in an interview. So that's one thing that I found to be kind of useful from exercising. The second is I've got more energy. So this is like a physical thing. So your body, when you're exercising, you feel like you've got a bit more vigor, you're a bit more lively, and you have more energy in the day, and that's going to help with finding work and being a more effective applicant and putting energy into the job application process. Okay, the third one is my sleep is better. So I found that at night time when I've been exercising, generally speaking at least, I just fall asleep more easily, and again that ties into the energy one, where the next day if I've had a good night's sleep I'm going to have more energy, and that's going to help me in terms of my finding work, that process. Next one is feeling calm. So I've found that when I'm working out or out in nature like I am today, I just have a real sense of calm. And when you don't have work, you can feel anxious and stressed, but exercise again I'm pretty sure it's been shown to be really good from a mental health point of view and to improve feelings of calmness. And when you're kind of more calm and at ease, you think more clearly, and that's going to help again in the kind of tricky process of navigating finding work. Next one is to do with practicing stoicism. So I've been trying to implement stoicism in my life in different ways for quite a while, but what exercise allows me to do is practice voluntary discomfort. And exercising is hard, it's difficult, both physically and mentally, but finding a job is as well. And I find that there can be a kind of an overlap in terms of if I go out and I exercise and I do something difficult, I can apply that same thinking to finding a job. Okay, the next one is to do with learning new skills. So like I've started weightlifting for the first time in my life, and it's very uncomfortable. There's loads of things to learn. Like I constantly feeling like I'm getting in people's way in the gym and I don't know what I'm doing half the time. But if I apply that same kind of beginner's mindset and capacity for learning new skills, I can take that with me to on my journey of finding my new path in terms of work. So there's again a kind of a connection between the two, and I can apply what I'm learning from exercising into this other part of my life. Next one is about meeting people. So I found that I've been able to talk with other people and, share things about my life with other people at the gym, in sports, out and about, just chatting to people. And I think that exercise has been the vehicle for that. And if I take something from that, it's that skill about networking that we all know is really useful when we are thinking about finding work or a job or looking at opportunities for employment. Networking is always talked about as being like the most important thing. It's who you know, and it's to do with being able to connect with others in a confident way, and that's a real skill set that you can build up. So that's something that I've also found really helpful. The next is just to do with having a routine. So I've found that when you're out of work, your days can feel very unstructured at times, but like having just one block of like exercise in your day-to-day calendar, that you're going to do at least that one thing, that kind of gives you a bit of an anchor activity, and it gives you something positive that you've done that day. And just that simple structure to your day has really helped me during this period of time, which can sometimes feel a bit chaotic, and you've got loads of time, but then sometimes you feel like you don't have any time. So that's been really good. So the next is to do with growth mindset. So what's been great is by building this habit of exercise, I can kind of have the confidence to know that I've done something positive for myself, and having that awareness, I can take that from this kind of part of my life into finding work, that part of my life. And it just is about kind of efficacy, self-efficacy, confidence. And I'm not really I don't have too many like big grand goals in terms of my fitness, but just the other day I measured I went on the gym, one of those measuring things, and it looked like some of my metrics had improved, like fat percentage and muscle growth. So these were like these little small things, like pieces of data that there was a motivator. It made me feel like I had actually made progress, and I can take that and apply it to finding a job or finding work. So that's been good. And the next one is to do with perspective. I think often when we're in this situation of trying to find work, I've found that you can kind of get into this mode of like, that's the only thing in your life that matters, nothing else matters. You've got your blinders on, and it's definitely important to have focus and make finding a job a priority. But exercise kind of gives you something else to focus on as well, and it can be a distraction, but it can also be like a source of pleasure, and it just gives you another dimension to your life, and it means that you can have this kind of higher level perspective. And I think that helps with your like rational thinking and knowing that okay, this is just a period of one's life that's difficult, but it's not like catastrophic. So it's been really helpful from that side of things. I made this video because I thought it might help someone else out there who's going through what I found to be really difficult. But if you are finding yourself in a similar situation, and even if you hate exercise, or you're completely disinterested in it, or you don't feel like doing any sort of movement, I'd encourage you to just go for walks. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm outside and the sun is shining, thankfully, and I'm hopefully energizing myself. Try to take the thinking out of it. Just we were made to move, and there's a lot of evidence out there that suggests it's good for us. It's probably going to help with finding a job in some way. So that's the lesson I've learned. That's my story, and thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.